Hello and welcome to the Glass House Festival, Poetry from Around the World. We bring you over 85 poets who have come together in support of creative people impacted by COVID. The Glass House Festival is wholly promoted by the Art Mantram Trust, which is a not-for-profit organization out of Bangalore. It has been promoting the arts, artists, and art awareness since 1999. This session is the Dissolving of Silk, a subcontinental multilingual panel, and we're extremely pleased to have with us Shri Kamal Chaudhary, Rajati Salma, and Raghavendra Madhu, who is our moderator. Madhu Raghavendra is a poet, a curator, and a social development practitioner. He's the founder of Poetry Couture, a poetry movement that has created free spaces for poetry in many cities in India, including the Northeast. Thank you all for joining us today. Over to you, Madhu.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction and welcome to the session on dissolving of silk. And I would like to begin by registering a vote of thanks to the Art Mantram Trust, Yumna, and the curatorial team who have been tirelessly working for months to put together this huge festival. And I've been a bit of a part of the process, and it's been lovely to see how they've been tirelessly working towards today's session. And so this is a pre-recorded session. And with that, I would like to begin by introducing Mr. Kamal Chaudhary, and then I would invite him to read his poems for around 20 minutes. And then I'll be inviting Rajati Salma to read her poems, and then I'll be reading few of my poems and we'll end the session. This is how the session goes. And so Mr. Kamal Chaudhary's journey into poetry began in the mid-70s, and by 1981, he has published his first collection, Michiler Shoman Boishi, as old as the procession. Over the next 4 decades, he published a further 22 volumes of poetry, including a book of poems for adults. 3 anthologies of his poems have been translated into English, and a travel diary was also published during this time. His poems have also been translated in different languages: Hindi, German, Chinese, Korean, Arabic, Swedish, etc. Chaudhary's contribution to Bengali poetry has been recognized through numerous awards from home and abroad, including the prestigious Bangla Academy Sahitya Puruskar in 2011. He is the fellow of the Bangla Academy and life member of Bangladesh Asiatic Society. He was the former principal secretary to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. As an officer of Bangladesh Civil Service, he also served in different capacities, including Secretary Information, Secretary Education, Senior Secretary Public Administration. He was also the Bangladesh representative to UNESCO Executive Board 2014 to 2017 and Chairman, Conventions and Recommendations Committee of the board. Presently, he is the member secretary of the National Committee for the celebration of birth centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and chief coordinator of the National Implementation Committee. So with that introduction, I welcome Kamalji to read few of his poems and share his journey with us. Thank you so much, Kamalji.
Thank you very much, Madhu, for your kind introduction. And please allow me to convey my thanks and gratitude to Art Mantram for inviting me in this Glass House Festival. And I'm also happy to be part of this. So today, I will read out few poems within my allocated time. And I will start with a pandemic poem. Pandemic poem in the sense because you see, here now everybody is under lockdown, we are scared, maintaining social distance. In this situation, so Zoom is helping us connect with each other through our poems. So I will start with one. I will read out my Bangla poem and then the translation of it. Tomar Prithibi Chinte Paro na. দেখো দেখো তুমি বাইরে তাকাও কি হাল তোমার বিশ্ব এত মেরু, এত ক্ষমতা, দম্ভ, এক ভাইরাসে বিশ্ব। মানুষ নিজেকে মানুষ ভাবনি, বোঝনি বাঁচার মর্ম। নিজের অস্ত্রে শান দিয়ে তুমি হারিয়ে ফেলেছ বর্ণ। তোমার পৃথিবী চিনতে পারো না, মৃতের মিছিল বাড়ছে। ধনীও জানে না, গরিবও জানে না, কার শত্রুরা আসছে। বাতাসের সাথে যুদ্ধ চলে না, পৃথিবীটা যে কুরুক্ষেত্র। আকাশ সীমিত, অবারিত নয়, তোমারও বর্গক্ষেত্র। বাইরে দূষণ, বাইরে যেও না, ঘরে থাকো কিছুদিন। প্রকৃতি বিরূপ করোনার সময় শোধ দিতে হবে ঋণ। নিরাপদে থাকো, থাকো গৃহকোণে, নিরাপদে রাখো দেশ। মায়ের মুখের মতোই পৃথিবী বেঁচে থাক অনিঃশেষ। প্রার্থনা করো, প্রার্থনা করো মিলিত স্বপ্নে দুঃসময় কেটে যাক। নিঃস্ব মানুষ জাগুক আবার, ভালোবাসা বেঁচে থাক। হারবে না তুমি বিজয়ী মানুষ, দেখবে সুদিন আসবে। বাইরে আবার সবুজ পাতাটি ঝলমলে দিনে হাসবে, ঝলমলে দিনে হাসবে। So translation of this poem, translated by Professor Fakul Alam. You don't even know your art. Look, look outside. Behold the state of the world. Poles once propped up the powerful and the proud. Now they have all gone now, destroyed by a virus. Oh humans, don't you see the human side? Don't you understand what life is all about? In honing your knife, you have lost your armor. Now one cannot recognize earth itself. The list of the dead keeping increasing. Neither the rich nor the poor know at this time who the real enemy is. You cannot be at the war with the air. The whole world is now a battlefield. The sky has its limits, and your terrain is not as boundless as you once thought it to be. Don't venture out. Everything is contaminated. Stay home for some time. Nature has turned hostile. The corona reigns, and we must pay our debts. Stay safe. Stay in some house corner. Keep your country safe, like your mother's face. Let earth live forever. Only pray that our combined dreams will make this bad time disappear. Let the ones who have lost all recover. Let love live on forever. Surely we won't lose. Humanity must triumph. We will see better days coming. The green leaf outside will smile again in a sparkling new day. My second poem, this is a soul searching poem of my emotional feeling where I reflect on myself. I don't have translation of this poem. I'm just reading it in Bangla. যে জীবন রূপ কথা, প্রতিটি কুহক শেষে আমি বৃষ্টি দিই। ভিজে যাওয়া বাতায়নে তোমার আকাশ। আমাকে লিখতে এসে যারা ফিরে গেছে, তারা কেউ কেউ হারানো বালিকা। তাদের স্মৃতির অর্ঘে ভেঙে পড়ছে সব অভিমান। সেখানে ধুলির পাশে ইতিকথা বিস্মরণ লিখে আমিও অসমাপ্ত দীর্ঘ চরাচর, আমিও নদীর নাম, বহুবার জলে লেখা ভাঙনের স্রোত, হাহাকারে ডাক দিলে মাস্তুলের পাখি জন্ম খুঁজে, আমিও যাচ্ছি ভেসে, রোদে পোড়া আদিম শরীরে তুমি এসো অনন্ত দয়িতা, কি নাম তোমাকে দেব, জেনে গেছি নিজ জন্মে তুমি গোত্রহীন। আঙুলের পাশে তবু সকাল হচ্ছে, আঙুলের পাশে তবু সকাল হচ্ছে, দেখি দূর গ্রামে তুমি হেঁটে হেঁটে বাড়ি যাচ্ছ, তোমার আকাশ থেকে তারারা নামছে দেখে, বাতাসকে ভালোবাসা জানাতে এসেছি। যে জীবন রূপ কথা, যে জীবন ঝুলি ভর্তি আলোর উৎসব, সেখানে আমি আছি, আমাকে লিখছি আমি তোমাকেও, আমাকে লিখছি আমি তোমাকেও। তো another poem, বাঙালি জীবন. This is a poem in fact dedicated to all Bengalis living in the world. It's a poem on ethnicity, small but just a little poem. বাঙালি জীবন, এপারে সীমান্ত রেখা, ওপারেও চেনা নীলাকাশ, সতর্ক প্রহরা পাশে, দুদিকেই অসামান্য রোদ, কাঁটা তার বাধা দিচ্ছে, হাওয়াকে থামাও, জল তবু নেমে যাচ্ছে, এসো জল এসো বৃষ্টিপাত, তবু আমার ভাষা, জল এবং তৃষ্ণা ভাগাভাগি, এই নিয়ে মানচিত্র, এই নিয়ে আমি বিশ্বায়ন, আমিও ভাতের বন্ধু, হাত ধরো বাঙালি জীবন, আমিও ভাতের বন্ধু, হাত ধরো বাঙালি জীবন। থার্ড পয়েম, রূপকথা। মৃতদের গাছে আমি ঝুলিয়ে এসেছি সাদা কবুতর, তোমরা শান্তি ডাকো, বসে পড়া পাতার শরীরে পালকের ওম বেঁধে দেব বলে, আজ এই জাদু বাস্তবতা, যতটা নির্জন দেশ তারও বেশি শিশু পাণ্ডুলিপি, হাত সাফাইয়ের মেঘে উড়ে যাচ্ছে অচেনা চাদরে, সেখানে মৃতের স্বপ্ন ঝুলে থাকে সুখ সারীদের ডালে, আমার ঝুলন্ত শান্তি, ওগো শান্তি, রূপ কথা লিখে লিখে পার হয়ে যাচ্ছি কোলাহল। Translation of this poem translated by Mr. Fakhrul Alam. Translation of this poem translated by Mr. Fakhrul Alam. Fairy tales. In the trees of the dead, I have hung a white dove. You can tell for peace now, because I will tie on the body of fallen leaves a mystic poem. Magic realism beckons this day. Onlier than these land are manuscripts of innocence, pleased their ascent on clouds riding on unfamiliar rocks. The dreams of the dead hung on the boughs where doves perch. My peace, the dangle soap, oh peace that I crave. Fairy tales I write as I traverse tumultuous realm. My another poem, বৃষ্টি ও রোদের স্বপ্ন। ভেজা কবিতাগুলো তুলে দিচ্ছি পাখিদের ঠোঁটে, পাখিরা প্রকৃত অনুবাদ জানে। বড় কাগজ আর ছোট কাগজের মাঝখানে ওরা প্রতিদিন আকাশ নাবি। উত্তর আধুনিক ঘোড়া বিতর্কে মেতেছে দেখে, বৃষ্টি ও রোদের স্বপ্ন বাদ দিতে তারা রাজি নয়। Dreaming of rain and sunshine, translation of this poem. I am handing over my wet poems to bird beaks, for only they know how to translate them. Perched between intense and lighter clouds, they steer the air every day. But just because postmodernists are all worked up, they won't give up dreaming of rain and sunshine. এবারে কবিতার নাম ভাসমান। পাখির উড়াল আর পাখিদের কষ্ট দেখতে দেখতে ছেড়ে গেছে আমার জাহাজ। মগজের কোষে কোষে হানা দিচ্ছে দিক চক্রবাল। নাবিকের তীব্র নেশা হারপুনে গেঁথে দিচ্ছে লবণ সাগর। প্রাচীন অসুখ থেকে উঠে এসে এখন ঘুরিয়ে দেব কম্পাসের কাঁটা তোমার ধুলোর দিকে, তোমার মাটির দিকে, আর আমি সমুদ্রে যাব না। তিমি শিকারীর চোখে কাঁপছে পৃথিবী, শীত এসে যাচ্ছে ফের। কত শীতে এভাবে কেঁপেছি, বন্দরে বন্দরে ঘুরে হিমাঙ্কের নিচে এত এত অভিজ্ঞতা, অথচ তোমরা জানো আদি তুষারের যুগে গুহের নৌকোয় তোমার মাটির দিকে ফিরে যেতে যেতে আমারও শরীরে ছিল উষ্ণ রক্ত, আমারও বন্ধু ছিল ওকে খড় নিয়ে উড়ে আসা পাখি। Translation translated by Muhammad Harun Rashid. The floating hour. As I kept looking at the flight of birds and their misery, our ship left the harbor. The firmament is assaulting every brain cell. The saline sea is harpooning the sailor's passion. Recovering from a primitive ailment, I will now turn around the hand of the compass towards your dust, your earth. I shall not go to sea anymore. The earth's shadow is trembling in the eyes of the whale hunter. Winter is setting in once again. Last winter, I trembled like this, traveling from port to port in a weather below freezing point, gathering experiences galore. But you know, during the Ice Age, when I was returning to your earth, I had warm blood in my vein. The bird with a straw in its beak was my friend too. Another poem I have written on the war babies of 1971. যুদ্ধ শিশু। মাকে খুঁজছে যুদ্ধ শিশু, মা এখনো কুয়াশার মুখ। অভিশপ্ত জন্মদাগ মুছে ফেলতে পারে না, তাই পৃথিবীতে কত সন্তান মাকে খুঁজতে আসে। প্রতিটি যুদ্ধের শেষে রোদ ঠিকই ওঠে, বৃষ্টিও হয়, রক্তের দাগও একদিন শুকায়। অনেক সত্য তবু অপ্রকাশ্য থাকতে হয়। মাতৃসদন থেকে বেঁচে যাওয়া কেউ কেউ 2 যুগ 3 যুগ পরও অনেক প্রশ্ন নিয়ে বারবার ফিরে আসে। মায়ের অপমান লজ্জা মুছে দিতে চায়। মা হয়তো দূর আকাশে ফুটে থাকা দুঃখিত তারা, হয়তো অন্য কোথাও পাতার আড়ালে মুখ ঢাকা। এখনো পালাচ্ছে যুদ্ধ মাতা, সেই ভয়, লোক লজ্জা, সেই ঘৃণা, সেই পাপ, সন্তানের প্রশ্নের মুখে রক্ত ঝরছে পলাতক পায়ে, দেখা যায় না সেই রক্ত, দেখা যায় না সেই রক্ত, শুধু তোলপাড় হয়ে যাচ্ছে আত্মপরিচয়। 2 যুগ 3 যুগ বড় ঢেউ এসে আসছে পড়ছে বঙ্গোপসাগরের তীরে, সেই তীরে অনেক মা, অনেক সন্তান, যুদ্ধ শিশুরা, তবু কারো সন্তান নয়। Translation, translated by Muhammad Harun Rashid. War babies. The war baby is looking for its mother. Mother's face is still under a veil of fog. She can hardly take out the stain of a cursed birth. That's why many children look for their mothers. The sun rises after every war. The rain too set in. Blood stain also disappears. Yet many truths remain invisible. That's how it has to be. Some of them who survive the maternity homes come back after decades. With many questions, they repeatedly come back, want to defy mother and take out her shame. Mother perhaps is a gloomy star in the distant sky, perhaps somewhere else, hiding her face behind leaves. Still flee the war mother, then by fear, shame, hatred, and sin. The child's questions bleach her throat. In her fugitive feet, you hardly see that blood. Only her identity fails to pieces after decades of wait. Waves keep breaking on the beach of the Bay of Bengal. There are many mothers, many children on that beach. Yet the war babies are nobody's children. Yet the war babies are nobody's children. This is a tribute poem to our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. His Muslim is in Tungipara. I'm telling it again. This is a tribute poem to our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. His Muslim is in Tungipara, his own village. Now it is a sub-district of Gopalganj district. Samrita Urni Ganguly, she has translated this poem. টুঙ্গিপাড়ায় ঘুমাও বাংলাদেশ, চশমা দেখে যায় তোমাকে চেনা, পাইপে আছে এরিন মোড়ের ঘ্রাণ, 1000 বছর পদব্রজের মাটি, তোমার হাতে সার্বভৌম প্রাণ। তর্জনীতে এক সাগরের জলে, ভারত মহাসাগর কম্পমান, কাদামাটির তীব্র মাতৃদেশে যাচ্ছে শোনা স্বাধীনতার গান। মার্চে দেখি উদ্যানে লাল ফুল, মার্চে সবাই আগুন কালের ভাই। মহাকালের সেই বিকেলের রোদে উন্নত শির তোমায় দেখতে পাই। তুমি আমার নির্বাসনের দিক, বনবাজারে যুদ্ধ দিনের রাত, ভয় করি না অভয় বাণী তুমি, সব হানাদার শত্রু কুপকার। উদ্যানে ফের দাঁড়িয়ে আছো দেখি, ফিরছ তুমি নিত্য প্রতিদিন, বিজয় শেষে ফিরছে স্বাধীনতা, ফিরছে আমার বাংলা মায়ের ঋণ। তবু আমি রক্তরেখা লিখি, তবুও লিখি অশ্রু সরোবর, একটি ঝরা পাতার পাশে লিখি শোকার্ত ফুল, স্মৃতি ও মর্ম। তুমি ছিলে থাকবে চিরকাল। চিরন্তন শিখায় জ্বলছে আলো, টুঙ্গিপাড়ায় ঘুমাও বাংলাদেশ, টুঙ্গিপাড়ায় ঘুমাও বাংলাদেশ। সব বাঙালির বুকে আগুন জ্বালো, সব বাঙালির বুকে আগুন জ্বালো। May you rest in Tungipara, motherland. I recognize you by your glasses. Your pipe still sweats like Erin Moores of yore. Having marched through years of dirt and toil, you held the key at last to our sovereignty, the freedom of our soil. With your raised four fingers, you could once shake up raging oceans. So now we hear in our motherland songs of glory, of freedom. In March, red flowers blossom in bowers. In March, people have fire in their eyes, and in the red light of this springtime sun, I see your head held high. You are my days of exile. You are the night rest to my wars and my strife. I fear no one, no soldiers, no enemies, for you are my guiding light. I see you blooming in the orchids every day, daily. This war has given us our long sought freedom, and to you we owe our liberty. I write still with letters of blood. I write with my tears and my sweat. I write next to fallen leaves, flowers sigh, and memories make my eyes wet. You are, and you will forever be the eternal light burning on the highest mountain peak. In Tungipara, may you find sleep, son of my motherland. May you keep igniting with your bite our homeland.
Thank you so much, Kamalji, for such a vast range of beautiful poems. খুবই সুন্দর, মানে প্রত্যেকটা লাইন যেগুলো আমি তো কয়েকটা লিখেও রেখেছি বাতাসকে ভালোবাসার জন্য, মানে এই এই
বাতাসকে
কবিতাগুলো
ভালোবাসা
যেভাবে
জানাতে এসেছি।
হ্যাঁ জানাতে এসেছি, কি সুন্দর এই লাইনগুলো, মানে these are so ethereal, at the same time these are so earthy in a way. I mean, I really adore, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions too once we post the videos live. I mean, the idea of having war, peace, freedom, language, culture, nature, ecosystem, human rights, and lovely translations by the translators, be it Shomrita or Fakur Alam. I mean, the range of poetry you presented, we are really honored to have you on the session, sir. We are really honored. And thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
And now, yeah, and now because I did want to make poetry the showstopper, so I didn't take much of time on introductions or going around. So even with Salma, I'm just going right ahead. Salma, do come in with your video if possible. So, and one of the most beautiful things about this panel is the confluence of two of the most diverse and richest language in human history. Like, and Tamil also happens to be one of the oldest languages known to human civilization, and such gorgeous poets. Thank you. So Salma's introduction goes like this. Salma is a well-known name to the readers of contemporary Tamil literature, with 2 volumes of poetry collections, a short story collection, and 2 novels, several of which have been translated into many languages. She has made her mark as a distinctive literary voice. Lakshmi Hallstrom's English translation of her novel, The Hour Past Midnight, was shortlisted for the Crossword Book Prize and longlisted for the Man Asian Prize DSC Award. Her second novel, Manam Niyangal, and short story collection, Sabam, are forthcoming. She is the recipient of several awards and honors. Salma has also served as a public servant. She was the elected president of the Ponampatti Panchayat from 2001 to 2006. She also served as the chairman of the Social Welfare Board in Tamil Nadu, during which she was instrumental in establishing several welfare schemes, including those related to the state's transgender community. She was honored with the Mahakavi Kanhaiya Lal Sethia Award for Poetry at Jaipur Literary Festival in 2019. So that was really a proud moment for all of us, and as a fellow friend and writer. So Salma, I welcome you to read your poems, and I'll read some of the translations.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you for inviting me this Glass House Festival. And thank you for Yamuna Ravi, Yamuna Singh, Hari Singh. And nice to meet with Kamar Sauti sir. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். I want to read my first poem in Tamil. Madhu is going to read in English translation. அம்மாவின் வீடு. விலங்கின் பணிதலோடு அவமானத்தினால் பிசுபிசுக்கும் நேரங்களை உலர்த்தியபடி, மட்கும் மௌனங்களை உதிர்த்தபடி மற்றும் ஒழுங்குகளின் புதிர்களை பேணியபடி தன் எளிய வீட்டை செயல்களால் மேலும் மேலும் எளிமையானதாக்குகிறாள் அம்மா. தான் சுமந்திருந்த பொதிகளை தனக்குள்ளேயே இறக்கி வைக்கிற அம்மாவின் வீட்டை போலல்ல பறவைகளற்ற பொழுதில் துவங்குகிற அப்பாவின் வீடு. அது குரல்களின் உக்கிரத்திலும் உடலின் உஷ்ணத்திலும் தகிக்கிறது. வார்த்தைகளை கொட்டி அறைகளையும் அம்மாவின் மூளையையும் நிரப்புகிறது. உடலற்ற குரலற்ற உடலுமாய் அலைமோதி ஓங்கிய தோள்களாய் உயர்ந்து நின்று அம்மாவின் உடலை பிழிகிறது. முதிர்ந்த இரவுகள் தோறும் உறக்கத்திலிருந்து தட்டி எழுப்புகிறது அம்மாவின் யோனியை. இன்றேனும் நான் மடியிலிட்டு தாளாட்டி உறங்கச் செய்ய வேண்டும் என்னுள் விழித்திருக்கிற அம்மாவின் வீட்டை. இன்றேனும் நான் மடியிலிட்டு தாளாட்டி உறங்கச் செய்ய வேண்டும் என்னுள் விழித்திருக்கிற அம்மாவின் வீட்டை.
Translated by Vivek Narayanan. With the meekness of a tamed animal and shame's calmy wetness, when the hours evaporate, breaking the frayed silence only to sustain mysteries of disorder, mother, her simple house by her deeds made more and more simple, and unlike mother's house where the heaviest burdens were emptied back into herself, with the quietening of the birds began father's house. In the fury of voices, the body sweltering inside, the words spewed into the rooms and into mother's brain, glutting them. The voice without a body and a body voiceless, swaying, raising hung shoulders. When she stands, mother's body torments herself. In the depths of night, shook from sleep, woken by the sounds mother made, at least today, in my lap a lullaby will have to put to bed, the mother's house still awake in me. Thank you.
Next poem, The Contract. Always my sister will repeat in anger what Amma says more subtly, that I am to blame for all that goes wrong in the bedroom. Every day in the bedroom, these are the first words to greet me. So, what is it today? Often. They are the last words too. From 1,000 simmering stars, pointing fingers accuse me of whoredom once again, and counsels float into the trembling night. The childlike sobbing of a cat, unable to feed its litter, seizes me by the entrails. You too may have your complaints, but time and our history make very clear where I now stand. To receive a little love, however banished from you, to fulfill my responsibility as your child's mother, to buy from the outside world my sanitary napkins and contraceptives, and for many other little favors, to hold a little authority over you if possible, to strengthen what authority I have just a little, in full knowledge of all this my vagina opens. Next poem. The solitude of a painted house. Hanging on my wall, the shade of a painted tree, a single cottage, some flowers, a sky. My eyes rest on the flowers while my heart seeks that solitude of the painted house. The perspective. நான் தலைகீழாக அமர்ந்து தலைகோதுவதை, நான் தலைகீழாக அமர்ந்து சமையல் செய்வதை, தலைகீழாகவே அமர்ந்து உணவருந்துவதை, தலைகீழாகவே என்னுடைய இருக்கையில் அமர்ந்து குழந்தைக்கு பாலூட்டுவதை, நான் தலைகீழாக அமர்ந்து என் குழந்தைக்கு பாலூட்டுவதை, நான் புத்தகம் வாசிப்பதை, நான் தலைகீழாகவே கண்ணாடியில் என்னை பார்த்துக் கொள்வதை, மரத்தில் காய்த்து தொங்குகிற வௌவால் தோட்டத்திலிருந்து பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது அதிர்ச்சியோடு.
Perspective. I stand upside down and comb my hair. I cook topsy-turvy and eat thus too. I sit inverted on my haunches to feed my child. Heels upward, I read my books upside down. I gaze at myself, terrified, stunned, and staring at me, a bat hanging ripe on the tree in the garden.
This evening, against all other times, why is this evening so heavy? This evening, like a bird burdened with the dampness of my monthly period. Next poem, Fears. Again, I look at myself in the mirror. My form is certainly not one that would arouse fear in those around me. It's not what you, most of all, must fear. There is nothing that should make you anxious in my telecon with your girlfriend. I don't fear any arms, yet you have no assurance when I sleep. You stay awake in fear. Even my slightest movement flusters you, your iron form melt. Till now, it has not been your might that has ravaged me, but your fears. தனிமை. அரவமற்ற தெருவிலிருந்து நான் அழைத்து வந்த தனிமையின் ஒரு துண்டு. இருள் அலையும் எனதருகில் ஒளி கசியும் ஒரு விளக்கு. வரவேற்பறை தாண்டிய முற்றத்தில் அது ஒரு சந்தேக பிராணி. இறுக்கி கட்டிய எனது உள்ளாடைக்குள் கிசுகிசுக்கும் என் காதலன். மறுக்கப்படுகிற வெளியில் அது ஒரு துயரம். மரங்களில் இருந்து உதிர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிற பறவைகளின் ஒளியில் விழித்தெழும் ஒரு மிருகம். விழித்து எழுகிற மிருகத்தின் நிரந்தர காதலி நான்.
I'll read two of translations. One is evening and one is tonight of Rizio Johanna Raj, the translation. Is that okay, Salma? Okay, evil. The streets of the city where deceit has spread, heat floats inside the bus. Amidst the sweltering bodies, a penis probes me, like evil sprouted, swelled somewhere. The other poem is Tonight. Tonight, the growing smell of blood on the knife fallen on my fingers seeks out the stench of tedious sex hiding along the lanes of my memories. The Rust of Silence by Salma. While I wait for your words, a heavy silence falls, fills the space uninterrupted. Easier indeed to trust to silence than to trust words, though silence itself has rusted. Thank you so much, Salma, for joining in, and it was an honor being with you and reading with both of you and being here. And to be, I mean, Komolda, to like Salma's work is definitely one of the most respected in India, and the way she brings in punch in the face of patriarchy and asks the difficult question to the society, and I mean, it's beyond. And her, even a BBC has made a film on her, which I'm not sure is it open on YouTube, but she'll let us know surely more. And so, with that, we come to the last a few of my poems, and I would like to begin by submitting a biodata to both of the senior poets and see if I qualify to read poems here. So the poem is called Biodata. And I'm doing this because I didn't choose Biodata, but I suddenly thought it is like I'm a born, brought up in Calcutta, but I'm a South Indian Maharashtrian. So I thought this would go well here. So the poem is called Biodata. A Tanjore Maharashtrian born on the Hooghly, calmed to my Avva's Kannadiga lullaby, soaked in sambar and rasam, served day after day with begun or aloo bhaja. I speak nomadic of my ancestors, Marathi from where they migrated, Tamil from where they settled, Kannada from porous borders, Bengali from the softness of the Ganga clay, English from the convent where I schooled, reciting Hanuman Chalisa at the school's chapel, waking up to M.S. Subbalakshmi's Suprabhatam, finding peace in the wealth of Mehboob-e-Ilahi, in love with a Galo girl from Arunachal, where the shadows of clouds rest on mountains and the Yongo and the Siang rivers fall in love. Who speaks better Telugu than my mother, sings ghazals like Penaz Masani, and loves Ghalib like Purani Dilli ever did. I have no belongings. Poetry is all I'll ever need. That was the poem to begin with. And you, both of you, really inspired with your poems to read something which also is my favorite space, the idea of human rights. And this poem goes out very short, and I'll just read two more poems and then we'll come to conclude the session. This poem is called Read. Read this poem loudly as you can. Don't be ashamed. Don't think it'll be lost in void. Don't bother about who is listening. Don't worry about who will understand. For long, we have read poems quietly, selfishly to ourselves. We have been unwilling or scared or thought no one cares and put them back on bookshelves, erased them from the streets, kept poetry from lighting revolutionary torches. For long we have let dictators speak loudly. For long we have let dictators speak loudly and thought poetry will stand and say something back. Not unless we read poems loudly, loud enough to reach beyond the radius of hate. This was the poem called Read, and the next poem is What Scares You the Most? And this is definitely in line and inspiration by both the poems, both Salma's and Komolda's poem, which was read. So this poem goes out to say that, there was, anytime you pick up in history, someone or the other is against some kind of poetry. So recently in Assam, we heard that some people were against Mia poetry, like some Mias writing poetry and not labeling it as Mia poetry. I mean, I'm really tired of purists telling what to do and really tired of men telling women how to, or any of those. So this poem goes out to that. What scares you the most? Poetry? A Mia writing poetry? A poem from a Dalit? The song of an Asur? An Adivasi who can rhyme? LGBTQI plus poems? Poems by women? Women poetry groups secretly meeting and writing poetry in Kabul? Social media poetry? Unpublished poetry? Bad poetry, which is any poetry which you or your gurus or your chelas have not written. Poems by non-branded writers. Poems which have not been sold to you by big publishers, Vogue magazine, or other market forces. Poems by children and teenagers that you can brush off as immature. African American poetry. Poems on atrocities, history, and slavery. Poems by farmers. Poems in unknown languages. Slam poetry. Poetry you can't control. That this is not poetry? Or are you just scared that the truth will be heard? So with that, I'll just come to a very short poem. What recently happened is a lot of artists were being branded across the world as non-essential, and there were fund cuts. So this poem of mine went viral, and so this viral in the sense that a lot of people started using it in Greece, in US and UK, and sending it to politicians, their politicians, tagging them on this, sending them on this, saying that artists are essential. So this poem is called Artist. I don't mind being the non-essential. I don't mind being the non-essential. Even the child takes its mother for granted. It does not run back to its mother until it's hurt. Nobody first thinks of water when they arrive at an exquisite dinner party until they are choking. I don't mind being the non-essential, knowing you will come looking when things are broken and nothing else works. Art is non-essential until it is not. So thank you so much, Komal Chaudhary ji, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Rajati Salma, for joining in all the way from Chennai and at a short notice. And thank you, Yumna, for being here all the while. And I really encourage our viewers to ask. There are a lot of questions that I personally would like to ask a lot of questions. I'll post my question to Komalji and Rajati Salma on their writing process, how they think. So if you want to ask questions, please go to the Zoom link that is provided in the closing slide, and you can ask your questions post the panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. It was really lovely. My phone has been ringing, so I've been on and off listening, and I've loved it. This is, in some ways, I think, Madhu, you think it's a marathon and you get very tired, but you keep getting these glimpses of such beautiful poetry. It's just like, like it gives new energy. It just carries you, makes you feel like you can walk on water. Thank you so much, Salma ji. Thank you so much, Komal ji. Madhu, you were a star. Thank you.